Hello, it's Richard at Richard's Guitars. I've got some mood lighting going on, so I don't know whether I'm not sure if it'll work. I'm hoping that the light will work. Yeah, I've got a really interesting story for you today, and it's something that this is more of an industry thing, and like a topic that I thought might raise some debate. So you can talk about it below in the comments. I found myself a kind of a victim in the middle of two different people's expectations, or not expectations, but in between two different scenarios, and caught in the middle. So I thought I'd tell you about it. I recently sold somebody a guitar, and they bought the guitar, but I offered to sell their guitar for them. So once they bought the guitar, and the guitar happened to be a Martin guitar. Now I'm deliberately going to not mention the brand, I'll mention the brand, it's a Martin guitar, because I need to mention the brand because of what I'm going to chat about, the warranty. But I'm not going to mention the model, I'm not going to mention the shop involved, I'm not going to mention the customer. So if anybody whatsoever posts on this video and starts saying, oh, you're talking about me and I'm going to sue you, well, no, I didn't talk about you, and I'm not talking about the customer, I'm not talking about the shop, I'm talking about my experiences, okay? Because it seems to me whenever I talk about stuff on videos, it's a little bit contentious. People like to sort of raise awareness to themselves, and then I have to delete the video. So my phone keeps ringing in my pocket. What the hell is going on? Sorry. So that's my little thing up front, saying please just let me speak about my experiences without people accusing me of defaming their name. So customer, so we'll carry on. Customer basically sends me a guitar, a Martin guitar. His view was the guitar was literally in perfect condition. So I'd given him a quote, I'd given him an idea of the value, what he will get back, and I offered to sell it and then pay him once the guitar was sold. So I open the box up and I find a guitar that is completely, totally unfit for purpose. No way, no question. I certainly couldn't sell it. To cover myself, because obviously over the years I've got a good idea of geometry and I've got a good idea of geometry, and I'm rarely too far out when I put my hands on a guitar and get a sense of what the tech will say about a guitar before he looks at it. I wouldn't have a clue what to do with it, but I got an idea of whether it will work or not. And sorry if you keep hearing this thing buzzing. But the action was massive, and it was ski slope coming up, you know, we call it ski slope, sort of huge action at the 12th fret. And I called the customer and I said to him, look, you said this was in perfect condition, I can't sell this guitar. And he goes, oh really? And you know, very surprised, seemed to be surprised that there was such a problem with the guitar. And I have to completely respect the fact that not everybody understands what they're buying. Now this was a £2,500 Martin guitar, let's bear that in mind. £2,500. So he paid £2,500 for this guitar. So I said to him, well, when did you buy it? 2 years ago. So it's a 2-year-old Martin guitar. Now, we got it, we thoroughly checked it over in our workshop. The top wasn't bellowing, so there wasn't signs of moisture in the guitar, with the ruler put to it, it just looked like the neck was at the wrong angle. So it just looked like we couldn't get that guitar to play without breaking the saddle, you know, having no saddle whatsoever, probably having to cut the bridge plate, shave it down by God knows how much, and probably end up with a slither of a saddle. It may have come somewhere close, but we certainly couldn't have done that ourselves, and we certainly wouldn't honour the sale. We wouldn't sell it. We wouldn't sell it like that. It just wouldn't be allowed in the shop. So I felt terrible for the guy, and the chap was fairly elderly, fairly, you know, sort of, without talking about the details, very difficult to get out of the house. So I felt absolutely terrible for this guy. And I said to him, look, to be quite honest, I think you're better off going back to the dealer that you bought it from and getting this looked at under warranty. It's only 2 years old, and you're also covered by, and this is a bit I want to talk to you about. When you buy something and you have a warranty, as far as I'm aware, consumer law protects you regardless of the warranty period. Okay, and this is something you might want to look into. So if you can suggest to the seller that under normal circumstances it would be reasonable to expect this product to last a certain amount of time, you have got a right to discuss a warranty sort of, or claim them to support you. And that's how I've always worked. And I can give examples of guitars that have come back several years later, and without question my first view is, should this have gone wrong? Should this guitar, you know, has it been put into like an unreasonable situation? Is it being overheated? Is it, you know, suddenly gone from hot to cold, or all these sort of things? Moisture, you cover all of it, and you get to know whether someone's left their guitar in a glass house or something. So you get that all out in your mind, and then if this gets, and even from talking to the customer, you get a sense of their reasonable behaviour. Are they effing and blinding and threatening you like I had today with somebody? And interestingly enough, and you suddenly, if anyone's effing and blinding at you, you kind of know that this is not a normal scenario. This isn't a normal person. This isn't someone. This is someone with a bit of an attitude problem. Maybe they've got issues going on in their life, and this really isn't probably my issue. This is theirs. So rewinding to the story, this guy seemed completely reasonable. He seemed like a very nice chap, and I wanted to help him. So I said, let me speak to the dealer. So I rang the dealer, and I explained to the dealer what I had found. And I found his initial observation interesting. And he said, he said it to me, it's quite normal for a guitar to, you know, you get natural movement. I'm sure we can sort it out and do whatever's necessary. You know, and he asked me how much I was paying him for the guitar, or how much, and I explained I'm going to sell it for him. I told him the price that I was going to sell it for, and I offered to send the guitar direct to the dealer. And the dealer explained to me at that point that the warranty on a Martin guitar is only 1 year. Now, I didn't discuss the pros and cons of, you know, consumer rights with him, because I just thought, well, he'll deal with it, and it wasn't my issue. It's nothing. You know, it's not for me to get too involved. So I just didn't discuss it. Sent the guitar. The next thing I know, I go on holiday and I get an email, very long email from the customer. This took a few weeks later, and the customer explains to me that initially he explains to me that the guitar is on sale. He sold the guitar because he wanted me to sell the guitar for him. He took up an offer from the dealer. The dealer had told him the guitar was quite normal. It had had some normal sort of movement in aging, which he said was normal, and it's quite normal for a guitar to move a little as it gets older. And he offered to do not a repair but an adjustment for £100. Okay, a £100 adjustment. So now, to me, that just isn't right. You know, I don't know what I want to cover here. The rights and wrongs of dealers and how they work, or the warranty period, because there's certain question marks which are raised here. So first of all, the dealer offers to adjust the guitar and, I presume, to remedy it for £100. Now, so the customer could have just gone, okay, I'll pay the £100. He had various decisions, didn't he? So this is question one. Do you think it's right that a dealer would charge £100 for natural movement on a guitar 2 years after purchasing it, when that guitar cost the customer £2,500 when he bought it? Personally, I think that's daylight robbery. Okay, I haven't mentioned the shop, and if the shop's watching, please, this is just my view, and you know, it's my view, and the last thing, and if anyone catches wind of who the shop is, I'll just delete the video, and because I want to talk about the principles here. The principle is, You don't sell someone a £2,500 guitar and then charge them 100 quid for natural movement of the guitar. I would have rather said to the customer, look, I know it sounds awful, but it's only got a 1-year warranty, and this guitar is a little bit faulty. It's developed a fault, or whatever. I don't know. It just seems odd to say natural movement. Just to put this into context, when we sell a guitar, we offer 6 and 12 month check and reset for that natural movement, which is completely free of charge, totally free. You know, if the guitar has moved after a 12-month period, it's a totally free and expected part of our package. If a guitar came back to me looking like that in 2 years, the first thing I would have done is demanded a response from Martin. You know, Martin Guitars. I'd been on the phone to them, but my personal opinion is that is how they sold the guitar. That guitar was sold like that. I don't think that guitar moved an inch. I think the guy bought the guitar, didn't know what he was buying, bought a guitar with a massive action. Now what's interesting is that guitar was then sold because the customer took an offer of £200 less than I was offering him, because he didn't want the hassle, because he knew that I couldn't sell the guitar for him, because I wouldn't, because it was in such poor playability. So he felt as though he was between a rock and a hard place. He was being offered to have it repaired for £100, but if he'd taken the repair for £100, he would only be £100 short of what he was going to get from me, and he knew that he had to pay for carriage from them to me. By the way, I sent it free of charge to them. I didn't make a penny, but I'd sold him a guitar, so it wasn't quite a big deal. So you're getting the maths, you're getting the idea. So the dealer paid this guy £200 less than what I was offering him when I sold it, and the dealer within several weeks had sold that guitar for £1,800. So just to put it into context, the dealer offered him 1,100 quid for it. He offered him £1,100 and then sold it for £1,800. And the whole situation for me is completely screwed up. I think that guy, who's an elderly guy, has been completely screwed by the brand, because that guitar, £2,500 of the guitar, should not have had an action that you couldn't even play at the 12th fret, nowhere near playing at the 12th fret, no adjustment whatsoever to make it play, no bellowing, there was no, but clearly some kind of repair was done to the guitar. I imagine they shaved the bridge down, they did all sorts, and maybe it was okay-ish after 100 quid's worth of spending. But give that guitar back to the customer. Do you know what I mean? So my issue is, what do you think about, barring the retailer story, which obviously is a double whammy, but what do you think about the 1-year warranty? Do you think it's right that Martin Guitars offer a lifetime warranty to any dealer, any consumer in America or Canada, I think? I've only learnt this through the situation with this poor guy. And yet there is only a 1-year warranty in the UK. 1 year. And that 1-year warranty seems to be just a cut-off point where after 1 year, if you need any kind of adjustment or remedy of any kind, you are screwed. You've got to pay the dealer. And as I said to the customer, I would be rich if I made money on every adjustment I made on every guitar after a year of the moaning. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, what do you think? Is this? Am I naive? What's the warranty on your guitar? Tell me, what's the warranty on your guitar? Do you think it's weird that Martin Guitars only offer a 1-year warranty? Just for your peace of mind, if you bought a guitar from me, any guitar, it doesn't. People have asked me, what's the warranty period on your guitar? If someone said to me, what's the warranty period on that lag? I've got no idea. What's the warranty period on that Audion, the Furch, the Eastmans? I have no idea. No idea at all. And I will say to those customers quite sort of brashly, not brashly, but quite, maybe arrogantly, I don't care. I don't care what the warranty period is, because you're protected by me. You're protected by the ethos, which is, and the mindset that if that guitar goes wrong through manufacturer error, not through abuse or neglect and whatever else, there's a realistic time frame that we expect this thing to last. maybe after 5, 10 years. What is that period? I don't know. Every single guitar would be taken in its own, based on its own merits, based on the price that you paid for it. Let's face it, if it's a 150 quid, let's say it was a 200 quid 12-string guitar, and 3 years later you brought it to me, and the action's up, I'd say, you know what, it's had its life, because a budget 12-string guitar has enormous pressure on the board, and it's quite understandable that's going to lift a bit over time, probably. So there you go, that's a bit of industry gossip for you, or whatever you want to call it. A bit of feedback on, not gossip, but like, you know, insight into something that's been going on. I haven't told you yet the whole point of the story. Sorry. The whole point of the story, the reason why I'm rambling about it, is because the customer came back to me and had a go at me. So I'm the bad guy. I forgot to tell you, this is the whole point of why I'm rambling about it. I'm the bad guy. The customer was really upset with me. He thinks that I should have sold the guitar because the dealer told him the guitar was fine, and the fact that they could adjust it. As far as the customer's concerned, I was in the wrong for not selling his guitar. And he said that if he had known that he couldn't part exchange the guitar, no, if he had known that he wasn't going to get the money for his guitar, he wouldn't have bought the guitar from me. So I'm the bad guy. So what do you want me to do? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, this is a guy who I took his guitar, fought his corner with the dealer that he bought it from to support him, packaged it up, sent it on to the dealer, and giving the customer the peace of mind that I had his back. He wangles a deal with the dealer, which he didn't, as far as I was concerned, he shouldn't have done. And then he comes back to me and blames me for basically the whole situation. See? Interesting. Okay. What do you think of that? Look at that. This is one of the new Cork guitars which have been unavailable in the UK for about 3 years now. When I say unavailable, there's been an absolute disgusting abuse of this brand over the last 3 years, and I won't get into political, you know, it's another area where I'll get sued or something if I talk about it, but bottom line is there's been some real chaos and real, I'm talking major problems with the way this product's been handled. And this is just one example of guitars I'm going to be showing you. Look at that, locking machine heads, incredible finish. There's a lot of exciting videos to come with Cork guitars, which I'll be showing you. That's a Cork G280DX. Tell me what you think about the story, and whether you had any horror stories with warranties and support maybe on warranties, that kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. You kind of live in a bubble, or I live in a bubble with what I do here, and when you hear about these stories, whether it be the warranty on that product or the way that guy's been treated, you just think, Jesus, like, no wonder we keep busy, but it's weird. Okay, right, see you soon. Okay, bye.